Welcome to our channel. In this video we will review the history of love. But before we start, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Oh, to be madly in love. It's a wonderful sensation. From young couples in the midst of romance to senior couples celebrating their golden anniversary, there is no doubt that loving and being loved is a pleasant experience. Of course, not all love is reserved for couples. There are other types of love, such as family love between parents and children and filial love between friends, to name a few. Is love a brain-based emotion? Do wedding bands represent ownership? Will having pets help to keep the love alive? To find out, read these 70 love facts, its history, and more. The brain is in charge of making a person fall in love. When you fall in love, they say you follow your hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, which is located near the pituitary gland in the brain, is in charge of hormone release, hunger control, and the maintenance of regular physiological cycles. Cortisol and oxytocin are two chemicals released by the hypothalamus that give you that lovey-dovey, I'm high up in the heavens feeling when you're in love. High cortisol levels cause lovesickness. When just thinking about the individual makes you feel light on your feet, you know you're in love. To make a person feel this way, the brain releases hormones. Short blasts of cortisol feel incredible. But too much, you're already in love. Literally, this hormone aids in blood pressure regulation and energy production in the body. When the body produces too much cortisol, it becomes stressed, which can lead to headaches, heart disease, anxiety, and depression. Bad memories can also be triggered by oxytocin. When you encounter someone you care about, that warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest becomes addictive. However, it is not necessarily a positive thing. Oxytocin, the love hormone, is involved in both human and animal emotional bonding. According to a study conducted by Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine, oxytocin has the potential to heighten anxiety and terror and will amplify negative memories. So, in some ways, love is painful. Women who fall in love have a better immune system. Choosing a mate is a basic human inclination, but finding the right one can be difficult. Damian Murray, an assistant professor in Chilene's School of Science and Engineering, collaborated with UCLA experts to undertake study on falling in love and its relationship to the immune system. When women are in love, they have higher activity of genes involved in antiviral defenses, according to their findings. Their immune system strengthened as a result of the body's preparation for pregnancy. During the first year of love, the body's fight or flight reaction is heightened. Being in love is a wonderful thing. You're usually upbeat, eager, and anticipating what the future holds. However, the human body is far more prepared in that regard. When a person falls in love, the body's fight or flight response goes into overdrive. Fortunately, this amount of physiological reactivity lasts only a year. Dilated pupils reveal whether or not a person is attracted to another person. People who are in love are said to have hearts in their eyes. When the irises grow in size, the surge of hormones causes pupil dilation. When two people are attracted to each other, their pupils dilate naturally. It is the biological call of the body to reproduce. The absence of something makes the heart grow fonder. Although long-distance relationships are not ideal, relationship experts agree that this type of arrangement can strengthen a couple. Experts advise connecting with your spouse, being present, supporting each other's hobbies, hanging out even when you're separated, addressing concerns, developing a plan for combining your worlds, and reminding them that you love them on a regular basis. Love has the same addictive properties as cocaine. Are you high and in love? There's a good explanation behind this. When a person is in love, 12 areas of the brain function concurrently, according to researchers. Vasopressin, adrenaline, oxytocin, and dopamine produce the same exhilaration as cocaine. People who are in love tend to be less productive. Have you ever found yourself sighing, daydreaming, and smiling to yourself instead of starting your work pile? It's natural. That's what love does. Obsessive love reduces human productivity, according to science. Set boundaries and reduce distractions to combat this, and you'll be back in your groove in no time. Holding hands is a great way to relieve tension. This public display of affection that is socially acceptable is both sweet and intimate. However, it has a greater impact on the body than the heart. Parents have been holding their children's hands since they were born, therefore the act of hand-holding is not limited to couples. According to an experimental psychologist, holding hands quickly reduces tension, lowers blood pressure, and slows the heart rate. Love is beneficial to the heart. No, seriously. Long and lasting love is also attributed with married couples' good health. According to research, married couples are less likely to have heart problems than unmarried persons. Couples that have solid and happy marriages live longer. In the presence of a loved one, blood pressure drops as well. In a relationship, a healthy sense of humor is essential. Aside with superb beauty and impressive street smarts, your spouse must also be extremely amusing. Couples that share a sense of humor are more comfortable and laid back. A fun partner can help to lighten the mood and make the relationship function. Love and lust are two entirely distinct emotions. These two distinct emotions are frequently confused. It is not always certain that one will lead to the other. Lust is a sexual and physical attraction, whereas love is considerably more intimate and emotional. Lust can be felt for anyone, but passionate love can only be mutually exclusive. Though people occasionally fall in love with the person they lust over, these two emotions never go hand in hand. A successful relationship has 5 stages. Love is a journey, not a destination, as the phrase goes. A successful relationship does not end with love, rather, it is the starting point for everything else. The 5 stages of a relationship are as follows: falling in love, becoming a pair, reality, commitment, and living your life stronger together. Some couples divorce in the 3rd stage, while others thrive until the end. Plato established the concept of soulmates. Plato, one of the greatest Greek philosophers, liked to narrate how the gods created the first humans. Humans had 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 legs, and 1 heart back then. Zeus considered the monster repulsive and terrifying, so he separated them. As a result, humans began to seek for the other half of their hearts, giving rise to the concept of soulmates. Aphrodite's official flowers are red roses. A crimson rose represents love and romance in floral language. In its purest and simplest form, it also signifies "I adore you." Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, fell in love with the lovely human Adonis. She warned him about hunting wild boar, but he ignored her warning. A wild boar attacked the kid, burying its tusk deep in his groin and killing him. The goddess' tears and her lover's blood combined to form a bush with a single red rose. Since then, the flower has served as her official symbol, representing her love and dedication to her late spouse. The Greeks defined 8 different types of love. There are various types of love, and the ancient Greeks were well aware of this. They classified each emotion into 8 conceptual forms. These are agape, universal brotherly love; eros, passionate and sexual love; and ludus, peace, playful love, usually for couples at the courting stage; philia, friendship love; philautia, self-love; storge, parent-child love; mania, obsessive love; and xenia are all types of love, generous love. Eating chocolates produces the same sensation as falling in love. A bouquet of red roses, a teddy bear, and a box of chocolates are the 3 most typical love gifts. Some people can live without the roses and bears, but not the chocolates. Eating a piece of sweet, delicious chocolate can help the brain release dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This makes eating this decadent dessert seem like falling in love all over again. The phenomenon of love at first sight is real. Consider the typical meet-cute scenario. A handsome guy runs into a pretty girl, their eyes contact, they both apologize, they can't forget the emotion they had in that brief 10 seconds, and they meet again in an odd spot where they fall in love. It's romantically referred to as love at first sight, and studies have been conducted to support this phenomena. According to a 2017 study, people are more likely to fall in love at first sight with gorgeous people. The greater emotions of connection, happiness, and passion, of course, cannot be felt with the eyes alone, which is why experts rarely refer to it as love at first sight. For the longest period, the LGBTIQ community struggled for their basic rights. Only a few states made it lawful to marry someone of the same gender, but that all changed in 2015. The landmark case of Obergefell versus Hodges established the basic freedom of homosexual couples to marry. At the time, the hashtag #LoveWins was trending on Twitter and Facebook. In India, it is still unlawful to marry someone from a different caste. For thousands of years, India has had a caste system. It divides citizens into classes depending on their social standing and employment. If a couple and their family are detected marrying someone below or above their station, they are slain. There have even been examples of couples being murdered by their own in-laws as a result of this. These couples are safe from harassment and honor killing because to the non-profit organization Love Commandos. Boys' love is becoming increasingly popular around the world. In some places of Asia, homosexuality is still frowned upon. There are still children who keep themselves in the closet, and there are still parents who are eager to yank them out. Since the COVID-19 lockdown began, females all over the world have fallen in love with Thailand's Amazing Boys Love, or BL, plays. These love stories are largely geared toward women and are influenced by Japan's yaoi, men-on-men, comics. Together, the series, featuring Vaichirawat Kiva Ari and Metawin Opa's Iamkajorn, is the most popular in the genre. The longest married couple has been married for 86 years. Getting through the 5-year mark in a marriage is a tremendous accomplishment, but staying married for more than 8 decades demands a lot of love and perseverance. This is the case with Herbert and Zelmira Fisher, who hold the Guinness World Record for the longest married marriage. They had been married for 86 years and 290 days until the death of their 105-year-old spouse in 2011. Animals can also be in monogamous relationships. Human decency rules establish the concept of monogamy, or sticking with one partner for life. People of various ideas disagree because, in a way, even animals have multiple partners. Monogamy is practiced by some animal species, most notably snowy owls, vultures, bald eagles, and albatrosses. Love is blind, said William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is best known for his plays and sonnets. He enjoyed infusing his works with creative insults and coining new words to better express the character's thoughts. The phrase, "love is blind," appears in several of Shakespeare's plays, including Two Gentlemen of Verona, Henry V, and Merchant of Venice. It was customary for people to marry for financial reasons. Love and romance were unthinkable in the early Middle Ages. Two families who wanted to combine assets or climb the social ladder arranged marriage unions back then. To keep the blood pure and the wealth inside the family, royals used to marry relatives. Cleopatra, the Egyptian pharaoh, did so by marrying her brothers and uncle in order to preserve the throne. Keeping a pet together improves the connection. Couples who are afraid about raising a child frequently begin with pets. It's been established that having an animal companion, whether it's a dog, a cat, or a goldfish, helps lower stress levels and makes a person happier overall. Keeping a pet as a partnership opens up opportunities for parenting, stress management, taking on new tasks, and improving communication skills. It serves as a litmus test to determine whether the pair is ready for the next step of their relationship. The longer a couple is together, the more personalities they share. There is always that pivotal moment in a couple's relationship when they start acting like each other. In an experiment, a team of Hong Kong psychologists demonstrated that personality does have an effect on how similar a couple looks. If a pair is of similar age, attractiveness, and hobbies, it is only a matter of time before they switch or adapt to each other's personality. Engagement rings were first used in 1477. Chains were used by cattle owners to quickly identify their herd, and engagement rings employed the same concept. As a representation of business ownership produced by man, ancient Roman women wore rings composed of ivory, flint, bone, copper, and iron. Archduke Maximilian of Austria did not propose to Mary of Burgundy with a diamond engagement ring until 1477. In 1947, the British corporation De Beers promoted diamond engagement rings with the phrase, "A diamond is forever," implying that love is eternal. To divorce his first wife, Henry VIII created his own religion. Divorced, beheaded, and killed, divorced, beheaded, and still alive. Henry VIII, the second Tudor king, married 6 times, the most for any European monarch. The former Catholic king lived by God's precepts and faithfully followed the scriptures. He was devastated by Catherine of Aragon's failure to produce a male heir to the crown. Historians believe the monarch genuinely liked her, but the urge to have a son won out. Henry VIII wrote to the Archbishop of Canterbury, requesting that his marriage to his queen be annulled. Divorcing a queen was unheard of for a king. This eventually led to the monarch leaving the Catholic Church in search of Protestantism, the religion that allowed him to divorce his wife of 24 years. True love elevated several commoners to the status of royalty. Cinderella's rags to riches transformation and Snow White's true love's kiss are both fairy tales. It prompted others to assume that true love is a story-created myth. Not according to these royals. A commoner is someone who is without rank or title. Celebrities, politicians, and public personalities can all be considered commoners, regardless of their celebrity. The most famous commoner to royal story is that of Grace Kelly, who married Rainier III of Monaco in 1956. Former TV journalist Letizia Ortiz married royalty in 2004, when she married Spain's then Prince Felipe VI. Before the wedding, Viking husbands give their brides cats. Some brides believe that this is an important wedding ritual that should not be lost. In honor of Freya, the Norse goddess of cats and marriage, brides were given kittens as wedding gifts. According to one legend, Thor, the god of thunder, provided the goddess kittens to drive her chariot. Gladiator sweat was once marketed as an aphrodisiac. Gladiators were great superstars in their day, despite being enslaved by the ancient Romans. Their exotic facial features and powerful physique made them look as much like prostitutes as warriors. If a woman couldn't afford a man, she'd buy the merchandise instead. Items were typically sold prior to the match, and gladiator sweat and blood is a popular purchase. Some people use sweat as perfume, others as medicine, and the most extreme use it as an aphrodisiac. The phrase tying the knot comes from an old wedding tradition. Language evolves in the same way that humans do, and even basic traditions can become part of the present vernacular. Tying the knot originated in a Renaissance ceremony called handfasting, which was a marriage contract comparable to a handshake. The groom's right hand is tied around the bride's left hand, thereby tying the knot. The Kama Sutra is an ancient Indian love manual. It is a frequent misperception that the ancient Indian books solely provide sex positions, whereas in fact it is a love manual. The Kama Sutra is a Sanskrit text that was published between 400 BCE and 300 CE and deals with love, finding a spouse, and other delightful human behaviors, including sexual positions. In China, matching couples is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Some Chinese parents hunt for potential brides for their children in a literal marriage market at Revolution Park, where other parents post advertisements. Matchmaking services are prevalent in China and Japan, where marriage and child-rearing pressures are at an all-time high. Parents in Asia disliked leftover ladies because they prioritized their careers and personal triumphs. The Bible brilliantly explains love. The phrase, "love is patient, love is kind," is derived from 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4-5, which represents the ideal expression of love in all its grandeur and simplicity. Love is more than just romantic attraction and feelings of ardor towards people with whom you have a bond. Cupid isn't supposed to resemble a cherubic baby. Cupid, the son of the goddess Venus, embodies love and beauty. He is portrayed as a winged infant with a bow and arrow. Before the Roman Empire, however, Greeks regarded Cupid as a slim young man with wings. In some stories, he was even in love with a girl named Psyche, whose beauty his mother despised. Against all odds, the two of them married in a lavish wedding attended by all gods and goddesses. The phrase "communication is essential" is overused for a reason. Communication not only allows you to communicate yourself to your significant other, but it also helps you meet their requirements by understanding their point of view. It goes beyond simply inquiring how their day was or what they had for lunch. Listening to what they have to say and responding appropriately might help them feel heard, comfortable, and more willing to express their opinions with you. Relationships that are toxic can be repaired. Relationship toxicity can be caused by a variety of circumstances, including jealousy, dishonesty, and dominating conduct, to mention a few. It may appear that breaking up is the only option at that moment, but there are still methods to mend the rift. There is still hope for achieving the loving, healthy relationship you've always desired by making an effort to perceive your partner with compassion, taking responsibility for harmful acts, and going to counseling. Attachment styles influence how you interact in a relationship. Our attachment styles develop during childhood, when our bond with our primary caregiver impacts how we relate to others as adults. Attachment styles are classified as secure, anxious, or avoidant. When a person has a healthy view of relationships, is self-reliant yet affectionate, and knows how to set boundaries, he or she has a secure attachment style. Anxious and avoidant personalities, on the other hand, frequently struggle to express themselves. People with an anxious attachment style struggle to control their emotions and frequently exhibit erratic behavior, whereas avoidants promptly shut down and retreat, preferring to cope alone. Red ginseng is most likely the most potent aphrodisiac. Ginseng, particularly red ginseng, is a popular aphrodisiac. According to research, this herb can help with erectile dysfunction, poor libido, sexual excitement following menopause, and increased sperm count. Some advantages include improved overall health. Padlocks of love have grown harmful over time. The practice of putting names in a padlock and fastening it to a bridge's railing dates back to Europe 100 years. To symbolize unbreakable love, the key is frequently thrown away after couples inscribe their initials or the date. Despite how sweet it may appear, love locking is considered an act of vandalism and poses a significant risk to bridges today. Authorities at Paris's Pont des Arts even removed them because the bridge was already threatening to collapse due to the weight. The most romantic location on the planet is not where you expect. When most people think of the ideal location for a wedding, they envision Paris with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Surprisingly, the top spot goes to none other than the world's happiest location, Disneyland. People appear to prefer the Paris park over the other 12 Disney parks around the world, possibly because it is located in the City of Love, which offers the right blend of joy and romance. Disney even has proposal packages ranging in price from $7,500 to $10,000. Do love spells really work? Since ancient times, it has been believed that love potions can make someone extremely enamored. However, its effectiveness remains elusive to this day. People used to experiment with various concoctions made from herbs, plants, and even animal fat to find the best one. There is, however, no scientific evidence that such remedies function. In modern times, some people use aphrodisiacs and, on occasion, chemically induced hormones known as pheromones found in fragrances and oils to seduce the opposite sex. Shakespeare is the author of the finest love story ever told. Romeo and Juliet, William Shakespeare's most famous drama about star-crossed lovers, is by far the finest love story ever recounted. As an escape from their individual circumstances, the major protagonists in the novel were blinded by deep infatuation. Focusing on the romantic aspects, all of the themes, from love at first sight to forbidden love, are universally appealing to many individuals. The unforgettable sad finale also takes the last slice, ensuring its enduring popularity. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, since we will be covering a lot of similar content in the future. Till next time, stay curious.